Get this, weekdays on the Triple M network and KOFM in Newcastle. Oh, that's Marty Sheargold.
Marty Sheargold.
A big hello to the Get This Newcastle crew.
Oh, now, is your program the Shebang? We've talked about the fact that it doesn't go out in Adelaide. That was because you slagged off Ann Wills.
And no traction.
Any traction in Newcastle at all?
None. Apparently Hunter Street didn't like Fifi, and that was the end of us in Newcastle. Although my grandparents did have, this is for your Newcastle listeners only, had a holiday house in Swansea, about 20 k's the Sydney side of Newcastle. Beautiful part of the world, Belmont area. And I feel like Fee and I should be in that market.
Yeah.
But I'm not part of the programming team at Triple M, so it won't be a decision I'll be even consulted with, I wouldn't imagine.
You've
All
always
they told us about Adelaide was we rocked up to a meeting, and at the very end of this hour-and-a-half meeting, they went, oh, by the way, we've pulled you out of Adelaide.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
You've got to take that as a compliment.
And they actually used the words, no traction.
No traction.
Wow.
Can't argue with that, Marty.
Now,
I wanted to, but I didn't know
what.
what it meant.
You're always doing battle with the programming department at Triple M, and I know you've got strong views about their music jury.
Yeah, the music jury.
We feel that the music jurors are not being screened highly enough.
ZZ Top fans.
How are those Toto people getting through the net?
Sliding in.
I got out of the music jury with a really lame excuse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did a bit of racist gear, and they
Okay.
they immediately pulled back and went, he can't be on the music jury. He can't. He doesn't like Lionel Richie. And it was terrible, terribly embarrassing for me and my family. It was horrible.
Have we found the jury room here, Ed? Have you had any luck there?
No, I haven't found it, but I know it'll be full of cakes and delicious things to keep them working around the clock, just making sure that they get all the promos they want, out on air.
It has another name, Tone. They call it the panic room.
Oh, the panic room.
It's a room that can be only entered from the inside.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
That's right.
It can only be entered from the inside.
Wow.
And full of angry jurors.
Full of angry jurors.
12 angry men and a White Snake album.
Oh, White Snake.
We never get White Snake. I've never heard any
We
White
do
Snake.
a lot of White Snake.
Oh,
We use White Snake in our show for a couple of benchmarky kind of segment stings.
Every rose has its thorn.
No, it's just a slip of the tongue. Jeez, I got my phone on. Sorry.
Oh, we love it when people... Who's calling?
No one, but I just bumped it and thought if I don't turn it off now... Tone, do you want me to get into the stuff that I've brought your show? Because
You've brought something along.
Ed, when Tone comes to do the shebang, he always brings one of the fantastic sketches that your show works on as a team.
Yep.
And then the work that goes into them just puts...
It's amazing, isn't it?
It puts Fifi and I to shame.
Oh,
I mean,
it's a lot of it's Matty Dow chained to a desk down in the dungeon.
I know it is. Well, our Academy nominated audio engineer, Matty Bauer,
Oh, yeah, that causes confusion.
get an email wrong there and you're in trouble.
That's right. You might be just wanting an entrance for Fifi to come in, to do a segment, and you'll end up with a meat safe falling on someone's plums.
Yeah,
I've made the wrong call.
I've had many an email from Matty Dower going, you still don't get it. So fair call, Matty. No, our audio engineer, Academy Award nominated audio engineer, Matty Bauer, has banged a few things together for me. And this is, I thought, why I think you should continue to appreciate Ed.
Yes.
Is this first one. Just, Fifi, many skills.
Yeah, sure.
Talking's not one of them.
Hi, Donovan.
Hi, Fifi. How are you going?
Oh, Donovan. Fifi forgot to put her headphones on.
I love that, Coca-Cola song, Cherry Coke Pop. Remember that one? It was a Namibian art student.
Where's it from, darling?
Namibia. I have injured myself through reading. You see the night in. That's a saying. I'm going to see the night in watching a movie.
Hang on. Are you telling me that there's a saying, I'm going to see the night in watching a movie?
Yes. We were visiting friends who
Did you say visiting or wizarding?
You said wizarding.
You said wizarding.
Wizarding.
or a grocer.
A gross rock? What's that, darling?
It's a grocer.
A grocer?
A grocer. Hi,
Hey.
Peter.
You haven't got your headphones on, love.
Yeah, good point. Why did you pick up on that?
Because you didn't have your headphones on.
Gee,
Tone.
I have to say, Fifi does come on this show quite a lot, and she has described, her relationship with you as an abusive one.
Well, it certainly is that. Sometimes just can't talk. But for Newcastle listeners, they might know Fifi from Thank God You're Here.
Sure.
And Wizarding, of course. She's one of the great white witches. Well, let's push on with this Fifi gear.
Yeah.
Fifi, she came to me, I think it was about halfway through 2003, and she was crying.
All right.
And I said, this is awkward.
Yeah.
I didn't really know her. And she said, I need your help. I said, well, what is it? She said, I want you to teach me how to be funny.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, how to tell a joke. I said, Dale, I'm a miracle worker, but some things are...
Beyond even me.
I mean, that's above and beyond. I said, I can fix your hair and stuff, but I don't know if I can...
I didn't know you did Fifi's hair,
I
Marty.
did bits and pieces, yeah.
Really?
The latest look was a bit...
beautician.
Yeah, a
You
little
give us
bit,
some
mate.
pretty frank wardrobe advice. I've heard that.
Ooh, avocado ponchos, they're out.
Are they?
Yeah.
Not on this show.
No.
So 2004 Spring Carnival.
Are they?
Uh,
Well, thank you. What about
Here-
caftans?
Yeah,
Caftans are back in, actually.
Are they?
Because
Yeah,
we're
they
having
are.
Satiny Caftan week here.
Oh,
on-
you are too?
Yeah.
I've heard a bit of satiny caftan week.
Yeah, we can't get them, though.
One size fits all, but apparently not.
Well, there's just so much demand for Satiny Caftan.
It's, I've worked out what it is. Spring Racing Carnival.
Oh, you reckon
Yeah.
You
that's
know
it?
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's people have got 2 caftans. They've got one to wear, and then they've got another one to kind of fashion into a hat.
Yeah,
You know what I
Susie
mean?
Wilkes will be wearing a caftan this spring carnival. She'll have it tucked into a pair of jeans. Yeah, it's the only woman in the world who still tucks her shirt into jeans. Hey, but have a listen to this. This is a compilation of some of Fife's finer jokes for the year.
They actually lifted the cow by crane and they've put it on the top of a building. And it's fair to say the cow is certainly moving up in the world. A German school has come under fire after it started charging pupils money to use the toilet. Students at the secondary school can choose to use the old toilets for free or pay 10 cents to use a new luxury toilet with marble wash basins. This school, you've got first class and economy. What did one snowman say to the other snowman?
What?
I can smell carrots. A Polish woman in Italy has been jailed for making ghostly noises in a mansion. I ask you, can you imagine the trouble Shaggy and Scooby would have gotten to? Scientists have discovered a musician who can actually taste sound. He finds a minor second note tastes sour and Elton John music a little fruity. New Zealand and Australia fighting over the pavlova. We have to ask ourselves, is this bun fight really worth it? Pavarotti in town. Mothers, lock up your pantries. A newly opened restaurant called Car Crash has had to close down after a car crashed into the building. So I was just wondering, imagine if the restaurant had been called Elephant Defecating on My Table.
She's
Boy.
putting in, though,
Isn't she
buddy.
what? She's still having a crack.
I mean, that's gear.
I smell carrots and the elephant one. That's good
Defecating.
stuff.
That's good
That's
gear.
good stuff.
And here, did you notice on the shebang, they'll help a joke along with a bit of a
yeah, I
bit of a slide whistle.
What's that? I did hear a bit of that.
It's sharp and punchy. All we've got is. And that's great for anything. That's fantastic.
I love how people know not to start laughing till after the boring's finished. They're not so rude as to laugh over the boring.
Tone, have you got time for one more, or
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
need to
yeah.
do something else?
we've always got time
Always.
for one more. The only loser is the Bon Jovi fan.
Well, this is musical, so in a way it could count as one of the 6 songs you guys are required by law to get away.
That's per week at the moment.
Millsy, Australian Idol reject.
Ed's often mistaken for it.
Robert Millsy Mills. I believe he's touring through Europe at the moment, backpacker
Doing
style,
what?
getting in touch with himself.
Oh,
There was too much pressure on him, and this is his mother that was quoted in the women's magazines. I haven't heard this from Millsy. This was his mother. Fife thought she'd help him at a time when he was releasing an album, so she knocked something up for him to have a listen to as a demo. And if Millsy wanted to, Fife was prepared to go in and do a little bit more work.
When the day is long and I can't see straight, jumping glass hurdles and always running late. When the traffic's all sluggish and I'm about to blow a fuse. That's when I think of you, 'cause you are my muse. That's when I think of you, 'cause you are my muse. That's when I think of you, 'cause you are my muse. That's when I think of you, 'cause you are my muse.
Get down to the muse, brother. 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 Yeah.
You are my muse.
Fifi Box,
You are my muse.
the remix.
'Cause you are my muse. When the day is long and I can't see straight, jumping last hurdles and always running late. When the traffic's all sluggish and I'm about to blow a fuse. That's when I think of you, 'cause you are my muse. That's when I think of you, 'cause you are my muse. That's when I think of you, because you are my muse.
Oh, any bites?
Hey?
Any takers?
Any luck?
What? No, she never rang back, but that's Millsy for you. He ended up writing Miss Vanity, and we know how well that did.
Not very well.
So he could have really used a bit of... I think I've come in and shown you that she's a versatile performer.
Listening to that song, I could see Fifi doing the film clip, on the yacht in Greece, scantily clad with all the sort of oiled up lads sort of pouring at her.
No, I can see that too.
I reckon it's got
I don't think we've got the record company connections, though, Ed. I mean, we didn't have any takers for our Jamie song. Remember that?
Yeah, no.
We got Jamie from Big Brother. Have a listen to this.
It goes like this, guys. You need that and this when you're having that. 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 The windows, not portals outward upon freedom of thought, but reflections inward into awkward introversion. These walls of semi strangers, faces so eerily blank and fine. These faces have seen people, and tears will see them leave. That and this when you're having that. That and this when you're having that. That and this when you're having that. That and this when you're having that.
That's what a fool does.
I had a lot of options, perceived talents, friends going off doing accounting jobs, boring, not having fun. Deserved to be somewhere fun. A little bit of fun here and there. Fun. That and this when you're having that. That and this when you're having that.
Psycho babble.
That and this when you're having that. That and this when you're having that.
Oh, how good is this? This has to end.
Being here, so lucky.
Oh, now, see, if the music
Jeez.
jury had their heads screwed on, that'd be opening up this show every day.
Do you know what I've noticed? He says these walls have seen strangers.
Yeah.
Actually, he says these balls have seen strangers.
I'm sure they have.
Lovely insight into Jamie's world.
Probably in the street with hot dogs. But I think what we've realised is that when someone wants to write a song in this building, they put a techno bed underneath it. And everyone pushes their chairs back. Job done.
That'll do nicely.
And what we've also realised is, who is Jamie again?
Yeah.
I found myself
I was
halfway through
thinking
that
that.
going, who was that guy?
I saw him in the mags the other day. He's got a new girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
She TV hopeful?
No, I don't know.
Sports
Well,
model?
I just saw the photo, to be honest. I didn't push on with the reading of the caption.
Didn't make it to the caption,
No,
Marty.
didn't even read the coloured square next to it.
Hey, do we want to just hear a few words from Kim Beazley?
Love to.
Okay, here's something he said last night.
That's what I mean about the master blaster of blame shifting. When it comes to blame shifting, John Howard is the master blaster.
Sorry, in case we didn't get that.
John Howard is the master blaster of blame shifting.
That's his latest catchphrase. He's always running catchphrases up the flagpole, Kim Beazley.
Catch on.
No. Well, how is the master blaster of whatever he said going to catch on?
That's the only bit you remember. The blame shifting thing, you kind of go,
Yeah.
what is that? You go, oh, John Howard's a master blaster. That's pretty rocking.
That's cool. It's sort of a bit like a transformer. I like
no
him
idea.
more.
I had no idea he kicked so much ass.
Spinning the wheels of steel, apparently. Mixmaster Johnny.
Now throwing it down.
I'll tell you who else is in the news. I haven't heard this name for a while. Trevor Flugie.
Oh, the flu.
What's the Flug up to?
It says that former AWB chairman and special trade envoy to Iraq, Trevor Flugie, faces possible perjury charges. I'm not really interested. I just want to know that we're going to be hearing newsreaders saying the word Flugie all over again.
Yeah, he coughed up a flugie.
Was he the guy? He was the guy on the newspaper with the gun, shirtless.
Yeah, that's him.
Is he bringing out a calendar, perhaps?
Oh, I hope so.
Nice idea.
Flug with guns.
Men of the AWB
Men
trial.
of the AWB.
But just keep in mind, don't blame it on the weed board. Don't blame it on the government. Don't blame it on the Saddam. Blame it on the Fluggy. We just love singing Blame It on the Fluggy. All right, he's coming back. Good to see. Hey, listen to this. They've
Blame
done...
it on the fluggy.
You can't stop doing it once you start doing it.
It's all day for me now.
It's like a Blakey. The antidote is Blakey. What about this? Anna-Nicole Smith's son, as we know, they've done an autopsy.
This is a terrible story, isn't it?
It is a terrible story. It seems he died from a lethal combination of methadone, Zoloft, and Anna-Nicole Smith.
Yeah, it's the last one.
That's what they're saying.
Is that really true?
Yeah.
Methadone and Zoloft?
Yeah, methadone and Zoloft.
Jesus, he was a troubled kid. He was only 20.
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh, boy.
All right, Kiev, a Ukrainian.
I love the way we're just moving on there.
Yeah.
No jokes there.
Sail past that one. Waving at it. Look, Kiev, a Ukrainian has invented a condom that plays music during sex.
Yes.
A miniature loudspeaker and motion sensor implanted in the condom's upper cuff provides a range of musical tones during sex. Music volume depends on intensity of lovemaking. Tone varies based on the sexual position adopted by the lovers.
Ooh. That's racy, isn't it?
So there's for different positions, different themes, different ringtones.
Yeah, different ringtones.
Emanate from your nether region.
Yeah, from your upper cuff.
I've heard it called many things.
Hang on, let's try this position. Is that the kind of thing you should get going?
That's for when you're. That's for when you're making love whilst running around the garden.
Yeah, carrying a couple of pears.
I mean, do you really want music coming from down there?
I guess you do.
When you're on the job, really, you do.
I guess.
But what songs, though, in particular?
Well, that's
You
the
know what I
thing.
mean?
This is why we've got the music jury in place.
There we go. The upper cuff music jury.
Yeah, that's what they're working towards.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's what they're working towards.
I'll go for Take My Breath Away.
You don't want a music jury in your bedroom, though.
Blame it on the floogie. That'd be nice.
You don't want to be sitting there and going, oh, can we have some Dave Graney, and be told, no, you can have Africa by Toto. And you'll call it ice cream. Jeez.
They've got Knuckleback now, which is a little cover band that do only Nickelback songs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
As the condom song. It's a theme song for the condom. It's the song they're using for the campaign.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what would be the worst possible music to have for that. Maybe Stinkfist. I don't know.
Maximum Satan by Annihilator.
It's a small world after all.
Hey!
Come on, Eileen.
Hey, come on,
geez.
Ahmed.
I mean, come on.
I know you're.
Seriously, what time is it, Ricky?
I know you're a shock
There are kids getting dropped off on holidays at the moment.
Yeah, look, I know you get into a lot of trouble with your views on bullying in the school.
Yeah, no, I did get a lot of emails when I suggested that kids punch a bully. And I thought...
Why? I
thought that was good advice.
Yeah, I think that, that's all you wanted to do when you were a kid. If you were getting bullied, all you wanted to do was to, muscle up and smack him.
Look, I
What's
think
wrong with that?
there's a period where you go through a negotiation with a bully where you try and talk it through, perhaps a thinly veiled threat that you might take it above him to higher powers, and then really when all else fails, just crack him on the nose.
Well, see, already we'll be getting complaints about that. We've poached Rob Sitch's work experience guy. A small round for Tom, if you would. He was in the other day.
G'day, Tom.
Hey, mate.
Hey, thanks for coming in the other day.
No worries, it was great.
Floating some great theories. Tom's theory is that the reason we have childhood obesity so much at the schools is because of anti-bullying programs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's a highly evolved theory, Tom. Run us through it.
Well, you're not allowed to tell fat kids they're fat.
Oh, geez, Tom, I was only kidding, mate. I mean, I didn't expect you to say fat. I'm only joking, mate. No, this is good. You can't tell fat kids they're fat.
Yeah, so I've been getting some bad emails about it. I shouldn't have given out my email address.
No.
You've been getting emails.
First mistake, Tom.
Valuable lesson, Tom. Don't tell anyone where you are ever.
And what kind of work experience tips did you pick up when you were
what did you
on our show?
Put stickers on bags. That was exciting.
Oh,
yeah, that's a good job.
And do you have to go back to school with a report or something on what you learned?
No, I don't think they really care.
So what are you gearing up towards, Tom? I mean, this is work experience. What do you want to get into radio, mate? Or you want to get into telly?
No idea. Just go with the flow.
You just did it because it appealed?
Yeah.
And how did you go down to Working Dog?
All right, yeah.
Did they let you do anything? Or was everything secret? Because there's a lot of, thank God you hear secrets lying on desks. You can't open that file. You can't go through that door.
I just kind of stayed in the back room and put stickers on bags.
Did you help Jane with the birth of the twins, or you're not involved in that?
No. No, I didn't really want to be in.
That's all good gear.
And what about, if you want to get into radio, I mean, Marty, you can probably give Tom some cold, hard truths.
What do you reckon?
Make friends with someone, Tom, who's got a job already.
G'day, Tony.
Welcome aboard.
It's all about timing, mate. Well done.
And obviously, it's not a bed of roses necessarily getting into radio. There's going to be confrontations with management.
Yeah,
I mean, how are they best dealt with, Marty?
Oh, there's several ways you can deal with it. You can take the lay low option.
Yeah, that's not really favoured by you.
Really, your go, is it?
Not defend your product or be passionate about your work. You can take that attitude. or you can argue that you employed me to be creative. Surely that's what I'm here for.
Do you ever get...
Ludicrous.
Here's something they have around here occasionally, an ideas shower.
Oh, they won't let me in.
We're not allowed into the
There's
ideas
one
shower.
almost every day where there's a whiteboard, like pump them up and things like that written on it. And
music during.
Music during.
Challenge, change, innovate, invent.
I ask if I can go in and they always go, no, this is for us and you're going to make fun of it. Yes, I'm going to make fun of it.
Yeah.
Let me.
Let him in.
But that's an idea in itself. That's part of the shower.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all getting drenched in ideas.
In golden ideas. It's like an enormous golden shower.
Learning stuff, Tom? Yeah. What else is going on in the schools? Is everyone armed these days? Is gunplay encouraged in the playground?
Well, and my school has the rivalry with the school down the road, and we reckon there's a secret army built under the school just in case they ever attack us.
Jeez.
Secret army?
It's highly developed theory.
So what are you coming up with by way of retaliation?
Throw stuff at them.
There we go.
Keep it simple, Tom.
A classic.
Do you roll to see who's strongest?
Yeah, marbles.
That's a Dungeons and Dragons joke, Tom. It was pretty obscure.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were into Dungeons and Dragons, mate.
No, they were the kids we whacked around at school.
Oh, right.
Were you a jock, Marty?
No, I wasn't good enough to be a jock. I was on the fringes of the jocks, but they
What were you smart ass?
Yeah, I was the kid that just had a sort of, had a couple of fags behind the gym.
Hell yeah.
And in what category do you fit into at your school, Tom?
I'm a smart ass.
Smart
Yeah,
ass.
well done, Tom.
Any plans on growing a kind of slightly pathetic teenage mustache, Tom?
Movember's just round the corner, Tom. Hey, we get through Rocktober and we're into Movember.
How's the dork constituency going?
Yeah, how are the nerds looking?
I was pretty high in the dork constituency.
Yeah.
I was on the board at my school. Dorks still popular?
How are they going?
Oh, yeah, as ever.
Yeah.
I try and steer clear of the library, so... I don't
Oh,
really see
Yeah,
it.
that where they hang out, is it?
Yeah.
The library kids. So we're a strange crew.
That was where we had our board meetings. And then we were moments later upside down in a toilet. But that was what we did.
Everyone knew their place.
It was a lifestyle choice and we made it. I just want to mention we were talking about Anna-Nicole Smith's son and I was thinking, maybe we're being a bit tasteless.
Yep.
He's died 18 days ago.
Yeah.
It's...
Well, what are the rules?
Should we give, a longer period of mourning before we
probably.
talk about the subject? But then have a look at what Anna-Nicole Smith has gone and done herself.
What's that?
She's gone and got married
Whoa.
this morning.
This morning. 18 days, Tone.
After the death of her son, she's married her longtime attorney, Howard K. Stern. Not Howard Stern,
No.
radio fame, but Howard K. Stern. Marrying your attorney.
There's no point getting bogged down if you lose a son. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that's clearly her approach.
Life goes on.
Yeah. Marry that attorney.
If I ever had a child and then, God forbid, Jesus, touch wood, they died, I know I'd be heading to the Bahamas as soon as I could.
Tie the knot.
Tie the knot, mate. Just get on with life. Really try to enjoy myself a bit.
Just looking through swatches, serviette rings, getting things ready for the big day.
Yeah, and, wandering down to the Bahamas beachside markets in the morning and... Yeah, it's a terracotta and Ugg boot nightmare down there. But just trying to relax and forget about the fact that my son overdosed on Zoloft and methadone 18 days previously. And look, buck up, the wedding's on the Savo.
And what kind of vows is she going to have? Hey, someone told me recently about a wedding they went to, this is in the mid-90s, when before Princess Diana died. And there was one of those ones where they have the sort of the modern priest with the modern vows, that kind of stuff.
Like I promised to be chilled out and
that kind of
cool
stuff.
with your vibes and stuff.
And it was all about the ultimate man and the ultimate woman.
Oh, yeah.
And so the bride was told, hopefully you will be the ultimate woman,
Oh, yeah.
much like Princess Diana. And then the groom was told, and you will be the ultimate man, like John Farnham. He's gone with John Farnham.
You're joking.
He's busted out John Farnham. And apparently everyone at the wedding is trying to keep a straight face.
Whoa. This is John Priel post-mullet.
Whispering Jack, I had no idea.
I didn't know he was the ultimate
Yeah, I know
man.
he belt out a tune, but jeez.
You know, just while we're talking about people we've offended and death, yesterday, Ed, you asked how Leroy from Fame was doing.
How's he going?
Mark
Still
Butler
working?
said dead, apparently.
Is he really?
Died in 2003.
I loved Leroy.
Okay.
He was brilliant, Leroy. 6, 7, 8, Leroy.
That's right.
right.
One of our listeners bumped into him, but obviously pre-2003.
Yeah.
Oh.
So sorry.
Jeez, they've been sitting on that story for a while then, haven't they?
I know, trying to get through.
Trying to get through.
Someone will ask if you've ever met Leroy soon.
Don't worry.
Okay, I think we've cleared up all the problems.
Yeah. We've got the Flashpot King with
Oh,
us.
yes. Well, Marty has got a past in the Flashpot caper.
Ed rang me last night. He said, what do you think? I'm thinking of doing this. I said, mate, I'm your man.
All right.
And I've bought some stuff in and got it up, set it up.
Oh, let's fire it up.
I
Okay.
had some detonator issues, but I think I've worked through those.
Okay, take it away.
2, 3, 4.
Thank you very much
Yeah.
for coming.
Armitage Shanks.
He's the most windswept panel operator
Isn't
on
he?
radio.
Where does Armitage Shanks come
I
from?
was thinking that myself. Why are we calling Richard Marsland Armitage Shanks? That's his acting.
No, it's nice to be named after a toilet.
No, you brought it up. You said that's your acting name. That's your classy acting name.
Is that what when you don't want to be Richard Marsland, you become Armitage Shanks?
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
good. I become I become Frank Catanzariti.
What's the Frank Catanzariti
Well, I
story?
used to go to school with a bloke called Frank Catanzariti, and his father was a shoemaker, I think.
A shoemaker.
Tanzariti.
And so, if ever I sign something or I don't want to, whatever, when you want to use a pseudonym, Frank Catanzariti.
Have you heard from him at all?
No, he was a wonderful bloke, though. I've often wondered what Frank's up to. It's for another time, though. We're on the radio.
We are on the radio, and we're up a certain mountain. Ed, what was your great idea for today?
What have you found?
What have you found?
What have you found? Nice broad canvas, Ed. Well done.
Could it be something you found on the internet?
I'd love to hear something you found on the internet. Sarah sent me in a great website called Badger.
Oh,
I
what's
love the
that
badger,
like?
badger.
Well, it's just a series of badgers singing.
Yeah,
It's great.
Badger,
Yeah.
badger,
Mushroom,
badger.
mushroom, badger,
Yeah.
badger, badger.
Yeah, that's
great
right.
stuff.
Well, can we top that, do you think?
Well, perhaps you could find yourself watching the AFL Grand Final with Warwick Capper. Now, Marty, I know you love a bit of Capper.
I'm a
Oh,
hip top.
and where are we up to?
Yeah, well,
We've
I know
had him-
we know he won't strip on dirt. He won't
No.
do garage.
If you hire him,
will do a garage.
It's
Oh,
$3
he will.
grand.
Yeah.
redhotstrippers.biz.
Yeah.
Go there. You can hire a Warwick Capper for $3 grand. He'll come to your house. Will perform in garage.
Yeah.
Will not perform on grass.
On grass, that's it.
No, sir.
Will not take his clothes off on grass,
He's-
although did wear the smallest pair of shorts in the world for about 10 years whilst playing footy. That didn't seem to worry him.
And then, of course, creative differences with the Russian director of the Australian film Yobbo's Up the Guts.
Up the guts.
We've had no Yobbo's Up the Guts updates. What's going on Capper side?
Here we go. He might have tickets on himself, but ex-Sydney Swans glamour boy Warwick Capper doesn't have tickets to watch his beloved club try and win back-to-back AFL premierships this weekend.
You're kidding, they didn't bung him a ticket.
No, he's had a fight with the Swans,
Yeah.
and he can't get in there, right? But he's taking the snub in his stride. He will again watch the big game on his TV and has decided to auction off the chance to cheer on the Swans with him and his new girlfriend. Remember, it was the Joanne the Third, I think.
Yeah, he kept calling his girlfriend Joanne so
Joanne.
that he wouldn't have to lose the tat.
Yeah, lose the
that's
tat.
right.
It's classy. Ladies love that kind of thing.
It's top
Yeah?
shelf gear.
Exactly. But now he's got a new girlfriend, such and such, Paula such and such.
Yeah.
And they're going to watch it at his boss's Gold Coast mansion. This is Capper. The Swans are a bit tight, and I get mobbed when I go out in public anyway, so I'd rather watch the grand final in peace on the telly.
Oh, I don't believe a word of that.
Neither do I. Now, here we go. This is the bit you'll like, Rich, because you know how you said that you can make anything sound sleazy by adding Gold Coast to the front of it? A real estate agent, Gold Coast real estate agent.
Nightclub owner.
Nightclub owner. It's beautiful. Mayor, Gold Coast mayor.
No, it's all
I
wrong.
once saw the mayor of the Gold Coast in a gold suit walking down the street. I said, who's that? They said, it's the mayor. I went, nice suit.
Of course it is.
He's got my vote, shiny sir. And here we go. You'll love this, Rich.
Okay.
Capper's boss, Surfers Paradise timeshare company promoter.
Oh, there's a category. There's a job description.
Henny Bunch.
Jeez.
So they're expecting 10 grand. Last night the bidding was 1,500.
I'm still back where he's getting mobbed. He just can't go anywhere. He's mobbing him.
Yeah, the days of mobbing Capper are well and truly over.
He's self-mobbing. That's what he's doing.
Oh, God.
He's mobbing himself.
Maybe they don't want him there because he's just a tool.
I reckon you probably hit the nail on the head.
What
there.
about, couldn't he do some halftime entertainment? I mean, what do they have at the halftime?
They'll need a
Oh.
garage. They'll need to erect a little garage
So they can
with
install
grass.
a garage in the middle of the what is it called? Field.
MCG.
That'll do.
MCG. Yeah. It's in the middle of the field.
And then
cover the grass because he won't work on grass.
And then they send a cup round the stadium.
Beautiful.
To raise. And when they've got $3,000, on comes a bit of Bon Jovi.
No, how about this? You get a choir of people wearing the Ukrainian upper cuff music players.
Yeah,
right?
nice.
Going for it rather vigorously. Marty Sheargold on flash pots.
Bang.
Armitage Shanks, sort of conducting the whole
Support
affair.
crew.
Boo, yeah.
Now we've got
It needs Rick Birch is what it needs.
Tell you what.
If we're going to do this, we're going to need a giant thong and Kylie Minogue.
Tell you what.
Wow, Rick. I hadn't heard the name Rick Birch for a while.
Good.
I tell you, here's going back. Do you remember this name? Bob Shanks.
Bob Shanks.
Not Armitage Shanks. Bob Shanks was this bloke who came out to run Channel 10 for a couple of years, and he was known as Mr. Custard.
Why?
Because all of his shows involved just tipping huge amounts of custard on people.
Was he Australia you're standing in it? Was he that sort of
No,
era?
not that era.
With the chunky
It was
custard
early
crew?
90s. It was early 90s.
Double Dare?
Double Dare.
Oh, great
Celebrity
show.
Double Dare.
Great
People
show.
in slime. People having
Yeah.
buckets of
Great show.
We need Mr. Custard back.
Mr. Custard.
Yeah.
Bob Shanks.
Yeah.
Wonder what he's up to now, Tom.
I don't know. That would be what have you found if you could discover, if you could get onto the internet. I've found something on Richard Marsland's page on Wikipedia.
What do you got?
Yeah, what's it say about Marsland?
It lists his many nicknames: Marslow, Marsbar, the Marslander, the Mars Explorer, the actor Richard Marsland, Shock Jock Richard Marsland, Marslando Calrissian, Mars Rover, Mars Attacks, Menafrom, Veronica Marsland, Ricky M,
Veronica Marsland.
the Marsupial, and the Windswept one. Someone's added the Red Planet,
Great one.
The Red Planet.
the God of War,
Great one.
and Dick Bar.
Dick Bar.
Dick Bar. What? Oh, I don't know about Dick Bar. That's
No.
a little hurtful.
Beat, isn't it, Rich? Somewhere?
I don't remember
might-
Dick Bar being floated through the transom at all.
It's probably meant to be pronounced Dick Bar.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you put the wrong emphasis on the dick, I find. It's like when at the end of Law and Order, when it says Dick Wolf, I always just think that's someone who's a bit of a dick wolf. Man, that guy's a wolf for the dick.
Now,
He is a dick wolf.
now
He
Rich,
is a dick wolf.
Rich, you found some beats in Adelaide, haven't you? You were rattling off a few names for
When
us.
did this come up? Was this when I was queuing up Kim Beazley?
This came up in a private conversation between the Red Planet and I as we reminisced over some of
please.
our fondest memories
It's
from
the
the
Dick Bar.
Adelaide days.
Dick Bar, tell us some names of some beats for those, in Adelaide over the weekend.
Hang on.
Well, no.
Give yourself some theme music. Get out that
And
mailbag
put Gold
theme.
Coast in front of it, please.
Get out the mailbag theme. This is going to be a new segment on the show.
The Gold,
Dick Bar's beats?
the Adelaide Gold Coast beats.
Dick Bar's guide
Dick
to
Bar's...
the great beats of Adelaide.
Well, for starters, there's River Torrens.
Really?
Right near Jolly's Boathouse there. That's
Nice.
going back to the 70s. There's also the Ville Gardens. Pretty much the whole of the South Parklands area
I love
is
the Ville
very busy.
Gardens.
As a matter of fact, at about 1 p.m, just watch there's a couple of speed cameras. It's turning into a bit of a parking lot out there.
Did you say the Veal Gardens?
Yeah,
Ville
it's the
Gardens.
Ville Gardens.
Also, Pavilion on the Park. There's a bit of a 3-car wait to get into the left-hand lane, but nevertheless, just check out the male cubicles there, and you should be in for a fun night. Thanks. Back to you in the studio.
How do you know all this?
It's because he grew up there.
You can't tell me that was a segment on Ann Will's morning program.
Around the beats.
Around the beats.
Let's go
How do you
around
know
the
all
beats.
that?
It was like a traffic update.
I know. No, you just know. Adelaide.
you just know.
The dark
You
and
pick it
dangerous
up, you
side
pick
of
it up.
Adelaide. Yeah, that's right.
You pick it up.
All right, what have you found? I think
Well, I found
Got me
once.
to beat.
I once found it was hard rubbish day on the street, and there was a great wheelbarrow about 3 doors up,
right.
and it was just a belting wheelbarrow. And I thought, I'm not letting that guy throw that away. So I've grabbed it and run it out to the back of my place. Sure enough, about 10 minutes later, knock, knock, knock. Well, who's this? I've come out the front, and the guy from 3 houses up has gone, mate, have you just grabbed me wheelbarrow? I've gone, yeah, I thought you were, I'm looking like a scab here, mate, but I thought you were putting it out for hard rubbish day. He said, no, I was ferrying loads from the backyard out with the wheelbarrow, and I'd taken a break.
You didn't give it back to him, though.
Oh, what could I do, Tone? I couldn't say no, finders keepers. He's come back and taken his wheelbarrow off me.
Wow.
So what's the topic though?
I've forgotten. Is this still going to air?
What you found? Oh, well, I kind of got in there. I found a wheelbarrow.
We're going straight to the callers at random. Always dangerous.
Hello, Brad. How are you?
How are you today?
We're excellent. What have you found, sir?
I found a banana lounge.
Oh, well done.
Whereabouts?
Hey, it's in bloody good nick too.
Is it?
Good time of the year to find one as well.
Oh, I reckon.
Is it soiled in any way?
Sorry?
Soiled in any way?
No, it was just on the side of a hill.
Side of a hill?
Strange place to find a banana lounge.
Yeah.
And you just helped yourself, did you?
Oh, it was a fair climb down to get it, but yeah, I won, so...
Right. What part of the country are you calling from?
Victoria.
All right.
Good stuff.
Soiled is a little like the word Gold Coast, isn't it? it adds sleaze to anything you say. And I soiled my...
reputation.
Oh,
You've done that a few times, Marty.
Thank you. I was heading in another area.
Thank you. Brad, hello, Corey. What have you found?
I found a funny website on the net about a song about beer.
What is it? What's the go?
It's just going on and on about beer. It's just kept me laughing for about 10 minutes.
Really? Where's the site, bro?
www.elfrigo.org // beer.
Jesus.
Yep.
.htm.
Did you need a beer after looking it up?
Yeah.
And
That's more work than I've done all year if I go to that website.
is that the site you probably spend most of your time on?
No, I just found it yesterday. I watched it 3 times already, and my brother kept hounding me to watch it another 5 times.
Corey,
Well, that's 8.
have you come across catsthatlooklikehitler.com yet?
No.
Oh, mate, cats that look like Hitler, all one word.com. Amazing.
Cats that look like Hitler, all one word.com.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Corey. Hello, Aaron.
How's it going?
Yeah, very good. What did you find?
When I was younger, me and a couple of my cousins went walking over the road to a dam and we found 8 yabby nets in it. So went back over to my place and grabbed a couple of buckets, went back over, filled the buckets up. And as we were walking back up the start of my driveway, this ute come roaring up with 3 farmers in it, jumped out. Oh, do you find our yabbies? And we said, yes. So we had to give him a yabbies back.
Yes, we did. It's like my wheelbarrow story.
Did they give you any yabbies at all? Like just to say, here you go, boys, just have one yabby?
No, they took them all back.
Oh, that's tight. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they were going fishing or something, so they wanted them all.
Bastards.
Typical. Thank you, Aaron. Hello, Trevor.
G'day, mate. How are you?
Oh, mate, I'm great. Now, tell me, what have you found?
Years ago, mate, when I was about 10 years old, I went to Moomba, and I wanted to go on all the rides, but my mum wouldn't give me no money. So I was walking around, and I found an unattended newspaper stand.
An unattended newspaper stand.
And do I dare ask you what you did?
Oh, mate, I would have made myself a pretty quick $20 selling newspapers for 20 cents. They were 30 cents back then, so I was making a profit.
That is fat. That's how the News Corporation got started.
Discounted newspapers, and then did you go and just splurge it all on rides and fun stuff?
No, mate, the guy who was running the newspaper stand, about 18, was the biggest, fattest kid I've ever seen in my life, and he felt the living heebie-jeebies out of me, mate.
Jeez, Trev.
But it was okay, mate. I still got about $10 as I was running away.
He's still grabbing change as he hits you. Good work.
And can I ask, who was the king of Moomba that year?
Probably Graham Kennedy, mate.
Oh, Graham Kennedy.
Great
Wasn't
days.
the year Con the Fruiterer did it?
Oh, is that right?
Lena and Woodley did it one year.
Oh, I think... have you done it, Marty?
No, Zig and Zag did it.
You ever been asked, Tone?
No, I'm not Australian enough.
Oh, no.
Got to be a lot more Australian than me.
Do you have to be Australian to be king or queen of Moomba?
I think so. Is Con the Fruiterer Australian?
I'm not sure.
I think he's a new Australian. That's cool, isn't it?
No.
Hello, Wendy.
Hi, how you going?
Oh, good. What have you found?
I found Warwick Capper.
In your bed? In your bed, or?
I was up on the Gold Coast and I walked into some little shop where a guy was trying to sell me some timeshare and some tickets to some theme parks and things like that. And I walked in and it's Warwick Capper and I thought, oh my God. And he's got pictures of himself up on the wall.
He does.
Oh, hang on. What? So this is his shop?
Oh, it must be his boss's shop.
Yeah, that'd
I
be his
presume.
boss that owns the Gold Coast mansion.
So you've gone into the shop and it's a kind of timeshare / theme park ticket / Kappa museum.
Yes.
Is it the, is it...
big elephant out the front, and my son was interested in the elephant. That's why we went in there. And then we've gone in, oh, my God, that's Warwick Capper. So it looked a bit sleazy, so we made our way out pretty quickly.
Ed, did you have $3,000 on you? I mean...
They'll only strip on grass. In a shed, apparently. And it's hard to grow grass in a shed.
Worth it.
If you got a lazy three kicking around and you're wondering how to spend it on grand final day.
And he will hold the gut in for most of the act.
Oh, I tell you, I'd get 10 blokes together and throw 300 in each and get him for half time on grand final day. And I'd make one of those tin sheds on grass. I say, go in. We're not watching you. Go in and take your clothes off in the shed. Come out and tell us when you're finished. Wrap a towel around yourself, you peanut.
Well, on that beautiful note, Marty, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure, Tone.
Get this, weekdays on the Triple M network and KOFM in Newcastle.